Hello and welcome to the first ever episode of the 5 on 3 podcast. And yes, it's the original two of the Liberty Sports Network. Me and Jared here to bring you NHL knowledge. Occasionally, Philly Sports Reports and Alex Watson will join us. Unfortunately, they were unable to come today. So we have us. And besides, but the Flyers is not really much to talk about it. But there's one player on the Flyers that deserves our talking about. So let's get straight into it. First up, Claude Giroux. Claude Giroux was the All-Star Game MVP, and I know Jared has some thoughts on what the Flyers should do with Claude Giroux. Jared?
Well, logic says to trade him because we want him to win a cup. Giroux, however, does not like logic, and he wants to stay. I love that, but I feel like no matter what's going to happen, he's going to get 28 is going to be up on the rafters. But I'm going to miss the dude. But he's got to go to like Colorado.
I wouldn't say Colorado.
Or someone like Colorado. Maybe
like
I would say Florida, but I don't trust their playoffs. So it would either be Tampa or Colorado.
I think Florida. They have a nice 69 points right now.
Nice.
And are first in the Atlantic. They're first in the East.
Yeah, but they're going to lose to Tampa again.
They're up on Tampa right now. They have more points than the Avalanche.
Yeah, they're the Presidents.
And everybody in the Pacific.
Yeah.
I can see him going to Vegas.
What?
Maybe going to Vegas. They don't have any cap room, though.
I feel like the two teams that I would send him to, that I would trust the most winning the cup, are Tampa and Colorado.
True.
Although Colorado was the last time there was second round loss away from becoming a meme, though.
Yeah, but when was the last time there was a three-peat in the NHL?
Islanders.
Did they win 3 straight?
They won 4 straight.
All right, so maybe
they almost won a 5th straight, but then they got swept by the Oilers.
Interesting. So, I mean, it's possible. It's not like the NFL where there hasn't been a back-to-back since the dawn of time, basically.
In Patriots.
Yeah. But it's kind of...
In the NBA, there hasn't been a back-to-back since... Oh, right.
Yeah.
Has there been a back... When was the last...
the Warriors.
Baseball, I mean.
A back-to-back Yankees.
It was the Yankees 3-peat.
Mm-hmm. 99, 2000, 2001.
Wrong. 98, 99.
Yeah, I was just saying
2001 was the Diamondbacks.
Oh, that's right. And they were going for the
Diamondbacks beat the Yankees in a walk-off game 7.
Mm-hmm.
On the year of my favorite.
Oh, God.
I'm going to HE double hockey sticks. There's no doubt about it.
Well, anyways, I don't think anybody understood that joke. But see, this is why, Jared, we can only let him out on special occasions. Anyways, the Flyers had a 2-game winning streak, and now we're probably going to go in on a 15-game losing streak this time.
There you go.
There we go. Yeah. Jared, do you know off the top of the head when the NHL trade deadline is?
I think I saw like March 21st. Just see, it's like a month later. I feel like because it's or something like that. It's like a couple weeks later than it usually is because it's of the late start. It is.
Flyers are still better
March
than
21st. Got it.
Devils.
What?
I said the Flyers are still somehow better than the New Jersey Devils, and
the Devils are literally Nico Hischier and Jack Hughes.
Well, the Islanders have only played 40 games so far this year.
Yeah, they're not. I don't know what happened to them.
They got wrecked by COVID.
No, they even before the whole COVID outbreak, they were terrible.
No, like
they haven't been good at all this year. Like even before COVID ravaged their team, they've been terrible.
Yeah.
They started off worse than the Flyers did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean the Flyers started out hot and then choked because of injuries.
No, they didn't.
Yeah, they did. They started out the season pretty well.
You sure about that?
Yeah, let me go back. Now I'm going back to like the beginning of time. There we go. The Flyers started out their season against the Kraken and won. No, their first game was against the Canucks and they lost in a shootout. obviously. Then they beat the Kraken 6-1. They beat the Bruins. They lost to the Panthers in a close game. They beat the Oilers. They beat the Canucks. They lost to the Flames. They beat the Coyotes.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the West trip. But yeah, no,
And what's it
after
called?
that,
The season fell apart.
in November.
Nope. It was their first long losing streak, and it came after. So they beat the Flames in overtime on November 16th, and then November 18th they lost in a shootout to the Lightning, and didn't win another game until until they played the Vegas Golden Knights December 10th when Bryce Harper was in attendance.
Was he really?
It was in Vegas.
Oh, that's tough.
Yeah.
He was rooting for the Knights, though, right?
No, he was shooting for the Flyers.
Dumbass.
Yeah, Sean
He's a
Couturier.
Vegas kid. I don't care who
Sean
you play
Couturier
for.
scored. Kevin Hayes scored. Max Willman scored, and JVR scored. I remember that game.
I would have worn a half and half. Like you know the
I think he wore like a Knights jersey with a Flyers hat, and like he hung out with
like Barack Obama did that.
He hung out with Kevin Hayes and Claude Giroux before the game.
No, I mean I think Barack Obama, I remember, wore the Nationals jacket and the White Sox hat when he threw out the first pitch. No, but I think what he should have done is when Craig Biggio was attending a Kevin Biggio's game against Houston, he wore the half and half jersey, half Houston, half Toronto. I think Harper should have at least done that. He wore half Vegas, half Flyers jersey with his name on it. But he's a Vegas kid. I don't care that he plays for the Phillies. He should have rooted for the Knights.
True. I mean, the
Like
Flyers
he rooted for the Knights against the Capitals.
Yeah.
Like he was wearing the Golden Knights jersey, and there was two of his teammates, like Juan Soto and someone else, and I think it was Steven Strasburg, were wearing Capitals jerseys.
Yeah.
Like you root for your home team.
I mean, that's true, but then again, you become like part of the thing.
Oh, I just realized Bryce Harper and Claude Giroux's jerseys would be 28-3.
Oh. maybe that's why they went on long losing streak, or that's why they broke it, because they were on like a large losing streak, and then they
had 28-3 odds of losing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's interesting.
But I've said it once already, this podcast, but Jack Hughes really should have been MVP of the All-Star game, All-Star series. Oh, and Tom Wilson got booed.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of expected after what he did last year. It's funny how like nobody talks about it.
And the year before that. And the year before that. Okay, we can go on for quite a while.
Yeah. It's gonna be interesting.
I'm happy though. He broke to our two biggest rivals. Well, yeah, but he broke both of their organizations, Pittsburgh and the Rangers. So we do have to, as much as we hate Tom Wilson, we do have to thank him.
True. So the Flyers coming up play the Red Wings, the Penguins, the Capitals, the Hurricanes, the Blues. Capitals again.
I will not be surprised if they lose every single one of those.
Let's see realistic what happens here. They'll probably beat the Red Wings on Saturday.
That's their biggest chance of winning right there.
They'll lose against the Penguins. They just
lost to Dylan Larkin.
Yeah, they'll lose to the Penguins. They'll lose to the Capitals. They'll lose to the Hurricanes. They'll lose to the Blues. They'll lose to the Capitals. They'll lose. They'll probably beat the Oilers. The Oilers are kind of bad.
You mean the McDavids?
Yeah, they'll lose. They'll lose to the Wild. They'll beat the team that shall not be named.
It's the Carills. And what team do you mean? And what team should not be named?
The team that should fold.
Golden
Knights, they'll lose. Panthers will lose. Hurricanes will lose. Canadians, they'll probably win. Predators will.
So you're just saying they'll lose to every team that has a better record than them, but then beat every team that has a record below them?
The Canadians have a better record than this.
No, they don't. I'm pretty sure they have the second worst. Worst record in the NHL.
Yeah, you're right.
It's either them or Arizona who has the worst record.
What's the Predators' record?
Better than ours, I can tell you that.
Oh yeah, they're second. Yeah, we're definitely not winning that game. They'll beat the Senators. They'll beat the Islanders. They'll beat the Red Wings again. They'll lose to the Blues and the Avalanche. They'll lose to the Predators. They'll lose to the Wild. We'll lose. The Maple Leafs will probably beat the Rangers.
Usually, you say they'll win every game. I'm actually surprised you're even
We'll
being this
win
pessimistic.
one of these 2 games against the Blue Jackets, so that takes us to 8 wins. We'll probably beat the Ducks. That's 9 wins.
You mean the Zegras?
Yeah, we'll beat the Sabres. So
I
that's
think they'll lose.
10.
I think they can beat the Zegras.
They'll beat the Sabres again. That's 12 wins. They'll beat the Canadiens again. That's 13. They'll beat the team that should fold. So that's 14. They'll beat the Jets. That's 15. And they'll beat the Senators. And that's 16. So that's 16 times 2 points in the NHL for a win, right? Jared?
What? So
2 points.
8 wins to 16.
So, no, 16 times 2 is 32.
Wait, did you say 16 wins or 8 wins?
16 wins.
Oh, yeah.
So 32, right? 32, factor in, say, probably 4 overtime losses. Or
Shootout losses.
let's say 6.
Okay, fine. They'll lose 1 game in overtime and the rest will be shootout.
All right, 38.
Well, I mean, the rest of
so
the
they get,
the
say if they get 38 points the rest of the way.
Still not even close. What
possible.
are they at? 38 points?
Yeah, so they'll basically.
They're not getting it at 76.
I mean, it would basically they'll match the total from the first half of the season.
Amazing. It's still not going to get them in a spot.
I know. They're going to finish with 76 points, which would basically. Wait, what was the final playoff spot last year?
I have no idea, but that wasn't even a full season last year.
All right, let's go back to the year before, 1920.
Also wasn't a full season.
All right, 18-19.
There you go.
All right, so
the 90s.
So so 76 was the points that the Sabres had in 2018-19. They finished 2 spots out. In the Metropolitan.
Wait, Buffalo finished 2 spots out.
Then in the Metropolitan, the Flyers missed the playoffs by 17 points.
What'd they finish with?
82. Actually, no, they missed it by 16 points to the Blue Jackets. That's the year they had the
the
President's Trophy winners.
Lightning in 3. So technically, the Lightning haven't won the Stanley Cup in a full season since their 04 win.
Exactly.
So they have asterisks.
But yeah, the Flyers got 82 points that year. They finished 37, 37, and 8.
Sounds about right.
They ended the season with a 5-game losing streak.
Sounds about right again.
And if they would have won those 5 games, which they all lost by single digit, like
what would have been amazing though, if Dave Haxtell wasn't the freaking coach. That way we could afford.
Oh, even if they did win those last 5 games, they would still be 6 points out of a playoff.
No, I'm saying Dave Haxtell was fired mid-season because he was freaking terrible.
I know, he was awful. Oh, that was the year that I went to the Stadium Classic.
Yes, it was, and that's
when Carter Hart was hurt. That's when Carter Hart was hurt the entire year.
Carter Hart wasn't even called up yet, was he?
Yeah, he was.
Wasn't that the year we had 8 goalies? Or was that 17, 18?
Yeah, that we had a lot of goalies because every single one got hurt.
No, every single one was either terrible or traded. Hart was the only one that got hurt.
Dick Vermeil got elected in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Anyways.
What else? The Flyers, I think it's like the least amount of points that the Flyers have gotten into a playoff spot was 88 in 2010, which is the year they went to the Cup final.
Which is somehow they went to the Cup final. Yes. So the Flyers made the playoffs in 2018. And they lost.
And they lost the Penguins.
Yep. And they had 98 points that year.
So pretty much like the mid-90s. So
yeah, and the lowest points total in the Metropolitan was 77, and that was the Rangers, who were in last place.
Didn't they get the no, they didn't. They didn't.
No, the Devils made it in. The Devils and the Blue Jackets.
They got Capo, right?
Yes. And then yeah. So if we go back to 2010, if I can go back that far, I cannot. I can only go back to 2015, 2016, where the Flyers made the playoffs on 96 points.
Wow, you just go on like Wikipedia for the 2010 season. They have all the games there.
Yeah, too much work.
Oh, and the Canadians also had 88 points as well, and they were the 8th seed.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think anybody had predicted the Canadians Flyers for the East Final that year.
Oh yeah, nobody could. It's just like this year. It's just like this year with the Rams and the Bengals. You could have predicted the Rams.
Memeing. I'm pretty sure some people had the Rams going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, I think.
But no, like I'm pretty sure like the meme prediction for the East Final that year would have been Montreal and Philadelphia, and it actually happened.
I mean, never say never with
Never.
that. But if you're the Flyers, because I know they said they didn't want to blow things up, they wanted to retool. Who are you trading
Yeah, like get a
away?
good head coach and a
Say,
defense.
well, I mean, they're gonna get a new head coach next year. They could probably pry somebody away, but from their current, I think Barry
No.
Trotz is one to look for, to be honest.
No, I don't think he's gonna leave.
But with the Flyers, who are you looking to trade away to retool this roster? Obviously, Claude Giroux
I
can
want
get you
Giroux to
some.
win a cup.
Well, Claude Giroux to get a cup and prospects back, which would be great for this team.
I'd like a draft pick too.
Yeah, well, we
Yes,
screw
this
those up.
isn't
We
baseball.
screw those up.
We need draft
Our
picks.
best pick in the past couple years was Cam York, and even
I
hit.
don't think so, dude.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
we can draft pretty well. I mean, oh yeah, Cliff or
we
Chuck Fletcher isn't
drafted.
exactly good at
What's his
drafting.
name? He's
We can
in.
use a new GM. That could be something.
He's in Vegas now. What's his name?
McCrimmon.
No, the guy that we used to trade for the guy Ryan Ellis. The guy that Nolan Patrick, that's his name.
Yeah, Nolan Patrick was the second over. That again,
And apparently we weren't supposed to draft him. Our head scout wanted to draft somebody else, but the GM wanted something else.
Sounds about right again. You know who whoever drafted Couturier, Giroux, like all those guys we need. Okay,
I mean,
yeah.
we could probably trade away Jake Van Riemsdyk for something.
James Van Riemsdyk, not Jake, but James.
James, we could trade away Konechny.
I don't think we're
maybe.
gonna get
Konechny's probably here long term. Travis
I would
Sanheim.
keep Konechny, Couturier, and like all the younger guys.
I think Sanheim could be
Rob.
traded.
Who?
Sanheim.
I don't know if anyone.
You could probably trade away Yandel for peanuts.
I don't want to trade Keith Yandel. I feel like we won't get anything for him. And, well,
then you could probably trade away the backup goalie too, whatever his name is. Phil Jones.
Martin Jones.
Yeah.
Come on, Mitch Lowell.
But yeah. Well, Jared, it seems like we have reached the end of the podcast. So what are your closing thoughts for today?
Flyers getting the Super Bowl. No, but
they're going the Tank Bowl Super Bowl.
Giroux needs to win a cup. I don't care where. Actually, I do care. As long as if it's not in Pittsburgh, Washington, or either New York team.
Yeah.
Actually, if it's in Washington, it's fine. But if it's not in Pittsburgh and New York, that's fine. Like as long as if it's not in Pittsburgh or New York, then I don't care where he wins the cup.
Yeah. Yeah, true.
I don't want him to win with Montreal. I mean,
my closing thoughts are: when the season ends, I hope the Flyers, make good trades at this before the deadline that help improve the team for the future. Obviously, you're not going to fire interim coach now. You're going to obviously wait till the end of the season. However, it would be interesting to see if they fire the GM and promote the guy they just promoted.
Briere.
Yep.
I
think he would be great. I think he would be good.
I'm hoping he would be
and then
good.
hopefully next year you can go out in free agency. We need defensemen. We just need a whole new team, if we're being honest here.
You know who
mostly our defense.
You want to know who I want to see as a coach again?
Yes, Jared.
Patrick Roy.
Oh my God. I was gonna say John Tortorella because I liked him at Columbus, but you would just be. But yeah.
Trevor Zegras is too good with his stick. He needs to learn how to block shots.
I mean, that's just
screw you, Tortorella.
Tortorella.
No, I don't know.
Well, this has been our first ever episode of the 5-on-3 podcast. If you liked what we heard today, or basically just heard us ramble for a solid 20 minutes, make sure to leave a comment and a like down below, and make sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss an upload for us, as well as other Liberty Sports Network shows. I'm Mitchell. That's Jared. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you guys next time.